My name is Carlos McCormick, creative director from Y.F.M Media. I appreciate all filmmakers coming here to watch another My Thoughts video where I cover knowledge and news for filmmakers. So let's get into the video. All right. So welcome to Y.F.M Media. This is the first Photowalk. Basically how I edit my photos, and basically went today down there in Green Spring Gardens down in Alexandria, Virginia. And we about to go ahead and get started and just take a look at the photos. And the actual lens that I had used on the Photowalk was the Canon FD 70-200 f4 aperture. And I basically dealt with two focal lengths. I shot with all the way zoomed out at 210. And then I also shot in micro mode, which that one's in 70 millimeter. All right, so let's get to it. Oh snap, I pulled up the wrong Lightroom. I gotta go ahead and pull up the right Lightroom. And here we go. Let's get to it. Now you're about to go ahead and see how I edit my photos. And basically, as this loads up, I've already dropped the photos in and chose the ones that I was going to use for this tutorial. And basically, we will go ahead and start, So the first photo here that I'm looking at, as you can see, it's underexposed. It comes in when you import the raw image. Sometimes, the Panasonic files, you got to go ahead and bring up the exposure. So let's go ahead and do that. Bring it up. As you can see, it's balanced out a little bit. This one's not in focus as I can see. So let's go to the next one. Yeah, this one's in focus. Okay, so that was my mistake. So you can see here, as I bring the exposure up to about 1.80. I have my shadows here, some dark shadows over here, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see what we're gonna do. So what I like to do is I basically like to come down here and come all the way down to region. I like to mess with the region first. So we're gonna go ahead and lift the shadows up a little bit, 35. And whether you do more or less, the thing about when I edit my photos and I want to go all the way up to 100% on anything. So, and I also like to just keep in minimum adjustments. That's the way I like to keep my photos. Is kind of natural as possible. So basically, I like the starting point, and then I come here, and as you can see, that region basically mess with the tone curve. So that's what I like to do. I kind of like to adjust my tone curve of photos first, and then jump into right here with the tonality, the first tonality, which is exposure, contrast, highlight, shadows, and whites and blacks. So here we go again. What I'm gonna do here is looking from the tones. I'm liking, but let me darken the blacks out a little bit, bring them up a little bit, you know, and bring out the whites a little bit more, shadows come down. So I want to kind of achieve that pop, and then bring the contrast in. So then, you know, I like to go to crop overlay and adjust this for Instagram and line up my framing. So, I mean, yeah, for the most part, like this, right here. Not too much crop, not too much cropping, you know, and I have another, some other presets that I like to use. JW presets. I really like his presets. He basically likes to create presets based around film. He's a film enthusiast, so I really like his. So he has. I like his frames. I really like the frame 4 on the photos of his. And then I come over here, which this is basically going to bring up my actual profiles. It's going to tone down, and I love cinema profiles. So, and the ones I love to use is cinema profiles are very strong. So I basically like to, you know, start out between like 25, 50, then 75 or 85, and then 100 if I really want to go that far. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and pick a nice look. Because like I said, remember, this is vintage. It's a shot on vintage lens. So let's see the look that I want to go for. I like this. This is Casa Atopia. Okay, so I might have butchered it, but oh well. You're basically seeing me edit on demand. As you can see, I like that. And then what we'll do is I like to basically put a little radiant filter here to kind of, you know, bring the focus in on what I'm focusing on in the picture. And but not I still, yeah, not too much, just enough to just bring it out. And as you can see, from that, I mean, that's pretty much it. Except for now, we're gonna go to presence, which is texture, clarity, and dehaze. Okay, so what I like to start out with is, that's what the dehaze. This basically tightens up the contrast and makes it punchier, zooms in on the punchiness of the photo, basically finds details that were hidden within the photo, you know. So it basically pulls out all that data that's within the picture. And then I like to go ahead and always do -8 on clarity, give it some type of natural softness to it, and then come in, tighten up the texture, maybe to like 30. And that's pretty much it, you know. With the first photo, I'll go ahead and show you how it looks like that. Okay. And that's pretty much the first photo edit. Okay. Now, we can do here is jump up on this one. Now this one is shot at 210 as well on the 70 to 210 millimeter Canon FD f4. So again, we got to bring the exposure up, and definitely, if you definitely enjoying this video, give this video a like, and you will definitely see me in the future do more photo walk sessions, you know, live. You know, basically my photo walk session in Lightroom. Okay. And basically you can see here, this is the trees. The thing about Canon FD lenses, I just like the bokeh that it looks like it gives a very artsy type of character to the image, so I'm really enjoying the Canon FD vintage lenses, and basically it's like you're getting great quality for your money, so right here, as you can see. And another thing I like to do is basically get the exposure right within the camera. So when I come in actual Lightroom, I don't have to worry about trying to do a whole bunch of adjusting in my image. It basically I basically have starting out with pretty much all my data within my picture so I can go ahead and edit the way I want to edit it, the image. All right. So once again, I told you we start down here in the region. Highlights, yeah, we can bring it up a little bit, not too much. Starts, bring it to the left a little bit, light it up a little bit, tad bit, and home in on those highlights in the region, just a little bit. And as you can see, we're gonna come up here again to the tone, the other sectional tone. Didn't really and then also I really don't have to adjust too much of my temperature and my white balance. It was a cool day outside, not too much sun, and yeah, that's basically that. The white balance is pretty much set. I'm pretty much happy with the white balance. Captured it as is. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get down here to the tone section and mess with the blacks a little bit, bring it up a little bit, bring the whites down. Shadows come up a little bit, and I believe, like I said, go ahead and just go over here to my crop overlay, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. Aspect ratio 16:9. Yeah, this is good right here. 16:9 right here, and then we're going to go ahead and lead right into the frame preset, frame it up, give a nice artistic vibe to it, and then we're going to head over to my Classifia preset, which is this one. I'm really enjoying this preset right here, and basically what actual preset these are is Lutify Me. I really enjoy Lutify Me. As you can see, I mean, it just gives me that vibe. I could add a little bit of grain to it, but again, I like to keep it in a cine feel. with you know, with a vintage / modern vibe. You know, that's basically my style of photos. I like to give kind of like a cine style, modern vintage vibe with my photos, as you can see from this shot. And right here, this is just my daughter. I was able to capture her. This is at 210 millimeter. As you can, I basically focused on the heart of it, and you know, you can see it softly going down, but I enjoy this image, and it's a dreamy image, and it's still giving like my daughter's innocent vibe on it. I'm really feeling this vibe of this photo. Really like it. So everything will always have to be sharp. You know, it can basically, you know, as long as your image is telling the story that you wanted to tell, it's all good. So we're gonna go ahead and crop in, punch in right here. I like that. And pretty much most of my crops that I'm doing is for the Instagram. And we can go ahead and I'll go ahead and put the frame in and basically start editing. Okay. As you can see, again, I like to go down to region. Okay, bring that shadows up a little bit, bring the dots in some. Okay, light it up, of course. With the face, the highlights are good. And then again, we're gonna go ahead and mess with the tones. Okay, bring the contrast in so it can pop. Bring the highlights down a little bit. Shadows come up a little bit. Whites. And then blacks up a little bit. And then I want to bring those out a little bit more. And then, boom. Throw on my vibe. Now, it's making my daughter very pale, which she got some color on her. So we'll have to change this look a little bit. All right. Basically, I think I'm gonna fill. Let's see, something like that. That's real good. Okay, bring this down to like 75, and yeah, I mean that's it right there. That's it right there. I'm really enjoying that photo right here. It's a good vibe. I like this vibe right here. And I'm not even gonna do the radiant filter on this one. This one again, manual focusing. Like I said, it basically nailed focus up here. It's still, you know, focus is basically like around here. You know, because my daughter was moving all over the place and dealing with a manual lens, sometimes it can be kind of hard to nail the focus. So what I'll do, I'll just leave that one there. Okay, then we're gonna come to this one, and I'll go ahead and show you this one that I did. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that. We've done that one. All right. And then now I'm gonna show you this one too, because I didn't do the Lightroom vibe with this one. Show you this one I just did. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead, and this is the very first one that was done, which was this one. All right. There we go. Now, let's bring it here. And let's take a look at the, I guess, the duck that I was able to capture. And bring this up. There we go. Now we talking. Then I want to go ahead and crop this. Okay. 4, 5. Right here. Maybe, yeah, maybe like, yeah, I like that vibe. I like that vibe. I like that. You know, still capture motion. This is in focus, of course. You see, it's in focus. Okay, we now focus. Good. Now, I'll go ahead and get the frame. Of course, I did it kind of different this time, but then we're gonna come down here to, again, to my region. Lift the shadows up a little bit, bring the darks down. Then we'll come over here, bring the light up. You see that? Bring those highlights in. Looking good, looking good, looking good. See if I need to touch anything. Minimum adjustments. I'll bring shadows down a little bit, whites up a little bit, and blacks down a little bit. The texture, bring that out. Once again, like I said, with the clarity. And then I want to make sure, you know what? You see how, so we can bring a shadow out in the face a little bit. Okay. There we go. So now you can basically see the duck, but the wetness and the shadows up on it, that's good. You know, bringing the contrast a little bit, that's good. Now, let's go to my profile, color profile. I like that. That works. I like that. But let's go back up to the vibe, what we was working with earlier. Let's see how we looking up here. Okay. Yeah, I like that too. So we're gonna roll with that vibe. Let's see, we got 50. Nah, let's get 75. That'll work. I like that. That'll work right there. All right. We call the duck in motion. Let me make sure, you know what? I missed something on my daughter. Texture just a little bit. And clearly, definitely. And bring that detail in. There we go. All right. And now let's go to the micro. Okay. Let's go to the micro. I pulled a lot in, but I'm noticing I'm like, I don't want this to be a long session. Okay. So let's take a micro mode. This is at 70 millimeter. And as you can see how close it gets. Look how sharp this lens is. It's real good. Real good micro shot. Lot of color from the Canon FD. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I think the way, let me see how I'm gonna crop this one. Yeah, I'm thinking do something like this. Yeah, this would be good. Yeah, right here. All right. We'll go ahead and start down here at the shadows once again. We need to go now. Light it up a little bit. Everything is subtle. Not really too much. Subtle, 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 subtle. Looks real nice already. Like I said. Not too much, not too much. And that a little bit down there. Right. As you can see, frame it up. Boom. And then now we're going to put the style on it. Put the style on it. Yup. As you can see, I like 75 a lot. And voila, magic. You see that? Nice micro shot. All right. Another nice micro shot. This is some rocks. I'm gonna lift the exposure up. All right. And frame it out. As you can see. Micro mode. And let's go. Again, I'm gonna come down here to the region, lift up the shadow so you can get more detail. Bring the blacks down a little bit, lighten it up. Now we gotta tone that white out. See how I got rid of that? The highlights, even everything out. And then I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna mess with the whites even more, draw some texture out. There we go. Now I got all my texture now. And now I wanna add my contrast. And then it looks real nice. And then we're gonna come here, look at that. Real nice, real nice. I really, really enjoy that. Cause it was like a cool day outside. It was like a cool day outside. And I'm gonna do this. This one shot at 70 as well, this micro shot. These next two shots I'm gonna show you was at 135 millimeter. All right. As you can see, and then we're gonna get here. It's at 135 millimeter. Okay, so let's bring this up. And I basically took this one with the branch in focus and the house out of focus in the background, just to show you a nice depth of field that you can still get from an f4 lens. I mean, it's still a stellar with the out of focus. You know, I really, really enjoy the Canon lenses on here. Oh, I actually started on tone, but I meant to go down to region. Like I said, my workflow. Okay, so here we go. Mess with the region, bring the blacks out. Look at that. And come in, bring them back in. Highlights. Yeah, look at that. Okay. I don't like to be out there a little bit, because they had a little bit of sun out there. All right. And backs are excellent. Bring the contrast in. And you know what? I mean, for the most part, I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. And I just like that whole presence right there. So now we're gonna come down here, add that. Let's join 75. Give it that kind of vibe. And I mean, that's what I like. I like that. I like that, all that. And oh shoot, I gotta take the frame off. I gotta do the crop. I'm gonna have to crop in at 6:9. So let's actually do it like that. So you can imagine if I was like using this to tell like a narrative, story in video. Oh man, this would be excellent. Work real well for details. Yeah, that's why I said 70 to 210 millimeter. Can't go wrong with that. You know, kind of basically like a Swiss Army knife. So this is the final verdict right here for this one. Like I said, the tree's in focus and the house is out of focus. So it's just showing you, it's just giving you a good idea of the depth of field that you can still get, and still I like sometimes when the background is still intact. You know, don't have to be fully blown out all the time. You know, sometimes I want to see detail what's in the background, you know, and this is another shot as well of the house. Different image. Okay, we're gonna bring the exposure up. Okay. As you can see, we got the tree in the frame. Yes, we got the tree in the frame. Very nice, artistic. And let's go ahead and go down here to the region. Let's go ahead and bring the shadows out, because as you can see, got the house in the background. Yes, I like that. Bring the darks out too. Now we're going to tone the light down a little bit, and the highlights down a little bit. Now that looks nice. Looks real nice. Now the bushes, I can still see has some black in it. So what we'll do, take the dehaze and put a negative on it a little bit. Put the texture on and add that. Okay. Then we come and lift up the black some more. The whites. as you can see, that's just, everything is minor. I don't really try to alter the whole image and make it look all crazy. Now I like that, but like I said, since I gotta go Instagram purposes, I don't want to really cut the chimney off. This is good. That's good. That's good. That whole vibe is excellent right there. That's good for IG. I can do that. And then just go ahead and add my so again we're gonna stay with the same look, consistent. Give it kind of that bluish feel, vintage vibe, and put the frame on it. Bam. That's it right there. You know. All right. So there you go. I mean, we can do, let me see. Take it right here. Okay, we can do this shot right here. We're gonna do one more micro shot. And this is it. So you bring this up. Look at that. Now, come down here once again to the region. The shadows, starts, bring them down a little bit. Light, bring that light out for the flower. Make sure you see all the detail. Come down up here. Let's crop it. I think once again, I'm gonna do it like this. Yup. It's a nice micro shot. And we're going to tone it. We're going to highlights come down. Texture 11. Clarity is 11 right here. Put a little bit of dehaze on it. Yeah, as you can see, I mean, that's pretty much it right there. I come and add my and the look, like I told you, it was cold out there. It was cold outside. So this is kind of the bluish vibe that I wanted to go because of the coldness. And that's pretty much it. Maybe I add a little radiant filter just to bring the focus in deep. What you're looking at. But don't black out the edges a whole lot, just to give it enough like that. There it goes, so it pops. And as you can see, it pops now. All right. And I'm thinking this one too. I didn't do the texture on this. There you go. There we go. Nice there. Shoot, I didn't even do the frame. Okay. So, I mean, there you have it. I mean, you seen my session. And again, that was my first Photowalk recorded here on Y.F.M Media. And like I said, you'll see more photo walks in the near future. And that was shot on the Canon 70 to 210 f4 vintage lens. So I hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and leave your comments down below, and hopefully it wasn't too lengthy. Like I said, this was the first one, and we'll go from there. And once again, I appreciate all of you, and make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next video. This is Y.F.M Media, Carlos McCormick, and I'm out of here. I also have my own apparel for Y.F.M Media. You can go check it out in the link description below. It's sponsored by Redbubble. You can go ahead and also, if you just go to Redbubble and type in Y.F.M, all the shirts will come up as well. So definitely, I look forward to everyone, all the subscribers, the supporters, and your contribution will go to building this channel to further better content to this channel. And I always appreciate all the donations that's received from the apparel and supporting this channel. All right, I really appreciate you, and remember to always keep creating.